internet says that the average lifespan of a podcast is less than a year, and all podcasts, including this one, have a 20% success rate. How do you get into this percentage? Podcasting is a long game. To get a fan base, you need to show consistency and longevity. I'm so glad you found this podcast, my personal journal of creating and posting all kinds of media on the internet and the tools and techniques that I use to do so. If you like this kind of content, you can find more of it streaming on platforms like iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And I encourage you to join the conversation on my Facebook group, Creative Progress. Stick around till the end for some free tools to help you on your content journey. Today's podcast is all about longevity, and today we're going to explore 3 techniques to help you stay consistent over the course of your podcast lifespan, which is hopefully long and robust. We're going to talk about creating a calendar, batch recording, and automated uploads. Let's dive right in with how to create a calendar to stay on track. Something free to everyone on the internet is Google Suite, and I use and abuse this resource. I've actually ran out of free space and had to start paying for the service. But you don't have to use a ton of space like me to stay organized. I'm also working on a remote project with a musician friend of mine, and I host all of our recording stems in Google Drive. That's why I ran out of space. The tools I use most on Google Suite for this podcast are Drive to store audio files, Google Docs for my scripts, and Sheets for my calendar and to-do list. You can also add multiple people to your documents if you have a team working on your project. Other great resources to stay on track would be your phone's calendar and alarm system if it's just you. When setting up your calendar, establish key milestones such as brainstorming, writing scripts, recording, editing, marketing, and publishing. Here's another tip for you. Give yourself a time limit each day. This can help you avoid procrastination, distraction, and perfectionism. My personal time limit is 2 hours a day on any given day to my daily tasks. If digital is not your thing, you may just want to go the old-fashioned way, pen and paper, and that's perfectly fine. Just stay organized. Let's talk about batch recording your episodes. Planning and writing your scripts ahead of time will allow you for batch recording. This is when you record multiple shows in one sitting. This is going to help you keep that longevity and consistency we were talking about earlier. When life happens, this is when your banked recordings are going to come in clutch. Bank more episodes and the pressure to create, record, and edit becomes lighter, allowing for further research on your niche or dialing in a new skill to improve your content. Batch recording is going to save you time, allow for better planning, and help ensure quality control. Let's talk about automation. Try to automate your social posts when you can, and always schedule your content releases. Most, if not all, RSS feed hosting platforms offer scheduling. As you bank your episodes, upload them in advance and set specific release dates. Think of this release date and time as your time slot for your program every week. I personally try to post my podcast at 1 p.m. every Sunday. And that's just now. The format could change in the future. Who knows? YouTube and TikTok also have a creator automation function. Zapier is another great automation tool that I've been looking into lately. Although I have not quite discovered how to use it in the podcast world, it is a great way to stay relevant on platforms like X and Instagram. Check out It's AI Thomas. He has some great tutorials on YouTube that explain it all. If you're catching this on YouTube, I'm going to put the link to his channel in the description below. We've come a long way in these 5 short episodes. I know it seems like there can be a million and one things to consider whenever you're starting to put your content out there, and that can be daunting. I know that there's been a lot of things that I've had to relearn and some things I'm discovering for the first time. But I know that dedication and strategic planning is going to help me defy the odds and become part of that coveted 20% success rate. As you move forward, leverage these tools and techniques in your arsenal. Keep yourself organized, whether it's digital or on paper. Create a calendar. Use Google Suite to store your audio, your scripts, and your sheets. Set a daily time limit to avoid procrastination, distraction, and perfectionism. Batching your recordings and automation will give you more time to focus on research or skill improvement. Building a dedicated fan base takes some time. Stay committed to the journey. I'd love it if you join the conversation on my Creative Progress Facebook group. I'd love to hear more about your experiences and get more insights into what you'd like to hear about next. If you like this episode, you can find more on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. I'm so grateful that you listened to this entire episode. And as a thank you, I want to provide you with a link in the description below to the Google Sheets calendar and to-do list. This list is something that I created in Google Sheets, and it's what I use to stay on track. It's an open file that anybody with the link can access and would be easy to just copy and paste into your own Google Sheets and your own Google Docs. Keep the momentum going. The podcast world awaits your unique voice. Until next time, I'm Wes Nile. Keep creating and keep progressing.